Hi, welcome to CNY Woman Knits and Crochets. I'm Mindy, your hostess, otherwise known as Knitter CNY on Ravelry and Instagram. I am doing a WIP session today because I feel like it, and I thought maybe before the Thanksgiving holiday or through the Thanksgiving holiday, you might need to take half an hour and do a WIP session. This cardigan that I'm wearing is a very old pattern. I don't remember who did it. If I find it, I'll try and link it in the notes, but it's a paid for pattern. It has mock cables, so they're not real cables, they're just a slip stitch. It's a one-piece construction from the top down, and I used a very old yarn called Modadia Mia or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. It was at the dollar store years and years ago, like 15 years ago. And they had it for $1 and it had acrylic and it had a little bit of Angora in it. So it's a warm sweater. I usually just wear it as a around the house sweater because this sleeve suffered a catch on a hanging file folder a couple of years ago, and I repaired it as best I could, but it's not like perfect, so it's relegated to a wear it around the house sweater now, which is fine. The yarn I am using today is Lion Brand Homespun. This color is called Purple Haze. This will be the majority of what I'm working on. I'm doing a triangular shawl. The upper color is going to be Purple Aster, which is this color. The Purple Haze is no longer available, I don't believe, and the Purple Aster is. The Purple Aster is a light purple, like a lavender color. And I'm making this for a Thanksgiving / Christmas present. So I am going to work on this. I'm using size 10.75 needles, which I believe are 7mm needles. It's a weird size. It's not used in the United States. They're Addy Turbo needles. And I wanted something that wasn't quite an 11, and a 10.5 was kind of too small, and I had another aluminum needle in this size, but the aluminum sound was bugging me because it was scraping. This only goes tink tink as you're going along. It doesn't scrape like the aluminum does. I'm really weird in particular with needles sometimes. Even though it was a $20 needle on Amazon, it was worth it to get it because I've made 2 other shawls using this needle, and I have probably another 2 shawls to make eventually out of this yarn because I have other colors. So this will be what I'm working on today. To update you, well, let's do a life update. I'm still unemployed. Fun. I went back to see my Department of Labor counselor virtually. She sent me some job leads. I'm doing that. I've also started taking a computer course as of the week before last, and it's supposed to take 2 months to get done. That would be if you were doing 1.5 hours to 2 hours per week. Well, I can't afford to do that. I've got to get the computer class done. So I'm doing 1.5 to 2 hours a day. I do take weekends off. I consider this my job to take computer classes. So I get the weekend off to do what I want to. And I can only take about 2 hours of computer classes a day because you're learning new material and your brain is not as flexible as when you were in your 20s going to college, and you could take 5 classes a day and memorize all the material and know it for exams and things. I'm taking fundamentals of Microsoft 365. I finished the Word portion of the class. Now we're on to the Excel part. And then we'll be going on to PowerPoint. It's kind of nice because you get to earn a little certificate at the end of each part of the course that you can add into your LinkedIn profile. So that's sort of nice. So eventually I'll be able to, you know, put that on my resume and say I finished the course with all 3 parts. So that'll be nice. So I'm doing something with my time besides crocheting blankets. I kind of put the crocheting blankets to the wayside for the moment. My Project Linus chapter person has one more pickup in December, and then she's taking off a couple of months because she's having some kind of surgery, I think knee surgery or something like that. So she won't do another pickup until March. I want to work on a couple of things before Thanksgiving. I don't know if I can get them done or not. It doesn't really matter if I do or not, because the people who are at Thanksgiving don't know that I'm bringing projects with me, and it's fine if I don't get them all done. I might only get one project done and then wait on the other 3 and bring them sometime before Christmas, because the other 3 people are local. The other projects that I'm planning to do are out of Hometown Yarn by Lion Brand. It is a number 6 super bulky 100% acrylic yarn. Right now it is on sale at Joann's for $4.54, but there is a 20% off coupon on it, so it comes out to $3.63. And I can make a whole hat out of 1 skein of that. So $3.63 for hat is a very good price. And they had dark navy, which is Penn State colors. So I got 2 of those to make a couple Penn State hats. And then I got a couple, I live near Syracuse, New York. So SU orange, Syracuse orange is always a good color to have. And my local Joann's had both colors. They have to pull the order for me, which isn't a problem because I'd rather not go and try and figure out where the yarn is in the store and then magically see if there's any of it left. So hopefully they got all those colors. They looked like they had enough of it that I could buy it. So they'll email me or text me when the order's ready. Probably not until tomorrow, I would imagine. This afternoon or tomorrow. It depends on how many people they've got on the weekends. And then I can work on knitting or crocheting some hats, because there is a crochet hat that takes a size P hook, which is really an N hook, because they say it's P in the pattern, but it's a 10mm hook, and that's an N in my Prim ergonomic hooks. And then there is a pattern for a knit hat on size 13 needles, which off the bat, I don't know what size 13 needles are in millimeters right at this moment. I suppose I could look on the needle and tell you, because it's written on the Takumi needle. It's a 9mm hook. I have an 11mm hook for if the 13 is too thick. They recommend 13, but I don't tension my knitting, so I usually have to go down a size. But sometimes if you knit Hometown on an 11, it's too tight. So I may just knit it on a 13 and call it good and pick a smaller diameter of stitches, a smaller number of stitches, and just figure out the decreases from there. So hopefully they get the order ready this afternoon. That would be kind of nice. So if you're looking for an alternative, they also have Woolies Thick and Quick on sale. It's a doorbuster though, so you can't use a coupon on it. It's $5.39 a piece. And today is, I think, the 23rd of November. It's a Saturday. So I don't know how good those prices are going to be for, whether it's the whole week with, you know, their Black Friday specials that they're doing all week, or whether it's going to be just the weekend or what. So I would keep an eye on that, and you can kind of see after Black Friday, when they get to Cyber Monday, they're just doing 30% off all of their yarn. So you have been informed. It's in their circular. But I happened to look at the circular the other night when I was at a friend's house working on my resume. I did not have any interviews this week. I did what they call a pre-interview for a job virtually last weekend. I recorded that after the website went down and it had to be fixed during the day. I was away at a funeral for a family member who passed away, and was worried about that because there was a deadline, a hard deadline of Sunday to get that recording done. And I had waited till Saturday because I was going to be dressed up in nice clothes Saturday. So I thought I'll record on Saturday instead of, you know, I should have done it early. Should have done it early. Always do stuff early. Anyways, but I did get it recorded. I don't know that I'm going to get the job. I may have pissed off the people in charge, saying that I thought the deadline should be extended because the website was down. I don't know if they extended the deadline or not, because then I got something saying that the deadline had been extended to this weekend. So maybe they actually paid attention and extended the deadline. I'm not sure. So that was interesting. I am applying for jobs. I am, you know, doing what I have to do to try and get a job. I'm taking the computer classes. Thursday, I will take the day off because it's Thanksgiving. I will be with family close by. I live in one Syracuse suburb. They live in another Syracuse suburb that's about a half an hour away from me. And so I'll get on the highway and then get on another highway and then get on the backcountry road to get to their house. It's not really backcountry road. It's more like main drag kind of thing. And go over there. It's my aunt and uncle, my dad, one of my dad's brothers is going to be there. And then my cousins will be there. Some other family members, one of my dad's sisters and her significant other will be there. And then some friends of the family who are hosting, you know, like friends from their church. So that'll be nice. It's typically the same crew every year that we know of. I've gone over there the past couple of years. There was one year I missed it because I had the flu and had to do Cracker Barrel that year, which was fine because I went through and did Cracker Barrel meal pickup the day of the Thanksgiving. And they actually open the doors, the back doors to the restaurant, and have a drive-through and have staff hand you the plated, you know, packed up food. The meal I think was $16 or something like that. It was fairly reasonable, and I ate all of that. Of course, this year with having the bariatric surgery, the weight loss surgery, I'm not going to be eating that much because I can't eat that much. I'll probably be having turkey and green bean casserole or sweet potatoes or something like that. More likely green bean casserole because there's vegetables in that and it's not a starchy vegetable. And then I'll probably have a sliver of apple pie because it has fruit in it. We'll call it that, or blueberry pie or whatever kind of pie they have. I'll have a sliver of that or a little piece of that to kind of see how that sits. But other than that, I can't really eat more than about 4 or 5 ounces at a time. Otherwise, you get physically ill. So it's a really good incentive to lose weight. And I have lost more weight. I've lost 5 pounds since my last visit 2 weeks ago to the bariatric physician. And I'll be back there in about 6 weeks. Maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. It'll be my 3-month appointment. And I think it's in January sometime. So, and we've already halved my high blood pressure medicine because I've lost weight, so I don't need as much high blood pressure medicine, which is fabulous. And if I lose even more weight, when I lose even more weight, we'll be probably getting off that altogether, which would be fabulous. Be another medication that I don't need to be on. And then after 6 months, I will be off 2 medications that I had to go on while I was having the weight loss surgery and recovering from the weight loss surgery, which is, one is like a generic form of Prilosec to decrease the acidity in the stomach so you're not as prone to feeling upset stomach and feeling sick. And the other one is to prevent gallstones because it's very common after weight loss surgery. You're losing so much fat that you can have gallstones build up somehow. I don't quite understand the mechanism behind that. I'm not a medical person, but that's what they told me. So I do what the doctor tells me because he went to school for 8 years and knows what he's doing and has done hundreds of these surgeries. So that's good. What you can see is I don't tension my yarn. I just pull. I throw my yarn from the right side and I don't really tension it. I don't run it through my fingers or anything like that. So that's why I use a little smaller size needle than what the pattern calls for. This is a free pattern on, this shawl is a free pattern on lionbrand.com. It is called the Easy Knit Triangle Shawl. It is, if you've ever made Grandma's Best dishcloth, the dishcloth that has the little holes at the edge. I'll kind of hold this up so you can see. One that has the holes at the edge. This is the pattern. So if you don't want to download it and look it up, you start with 4 stitches, cast on 4 stitches. Next row, knit 1, yarn over, knit the rest of the stitches. Repeat the last row until you're satisfied that you've gone through all your yarn. And like I said, I use homespun, Lion Brand homespun, because it was affordable. It was what was called for in the pattern, and it comes out really pretty. It has a little bit of texture in it because it is a boucle yarn. If you don't know what a boucle yarn is, this is boucle. It kind of has those wavy things in it. It's got like a piece of yarn and then it has a piece of thread that goes around it to make those bumps. So it has a little bit of texture and it looks really pretty, and you can throw it in the washer and the dryer. I like it for that reason because it'll get crunchy if you put it in. It'll get kind of crunchy and flat if you put it in a high hot dryer, but it locks in the stitches when you do that. So it's a trade-off. It's still a soft yarn, but it's better if you tumble dry it on low. And let's see what we're on. We are on 20 minutes. So that's about all I've been knitting. You can go back and see my last podcast if you want to see a yarn haul. About 41 people have watched that to date. And I put it up, I think, Thursday or Friday. Either really late Thursday or really early Friday. Because the main thing that I showed was the Bernat blanket. This is one of the colors. Plum Fields. One of the other colors is the ombre in sort of a light lavender color. You can kind of see that. It's lavender and different colors of gray. And then the other one is somewhere around here. The other one is Teal Dreams. Teal Dreams Bernat blanket. And these were $4.99 a piece at Ollie's, if you have an Ollie's near you. And then I had a 15% off coupon. So they wound up being $4.25 a piece before tax. So $4.25, I bought 3 colors. There were 4 colors available at my Ollie's. I did not go to the other Ollie's across town. It's in another suburb of Syracuse, because I didn't want to go down there and spend even more money that I don't have. But I use that Bernat blanket for making blankets for Project Linus, especially the grade school blankets. I do also use it for a pattern that is a ripple pattern for a baby blanket. And I can use 2 skeins of Bernat blanket to make that. Those particular ones, I got a deal from Mary Maxim. They're baby blanket yarn only. Bernat baby blanket yarn was $3.99. They had 5 colors available. I bought all 5 colors over 2 orders. Why I didn't buy all 5 at the same time, I don't know. But they were good price, and I could make a baby blanket for $8. This gives me a full-size blanket with the ones from Ollie's for $17 before tax. So with tax, it was like $54 and change for 3 full-size blankets for grade school / teenager size. So I was happy about that, because now Bernat blanket is getting awfully expensive. Even on sale at Joann's, it's getting to be like $10 a ball. So I have plenty of balls and skeins and cakes of Bernat blanket for quite a while. I've done really well with the sales and stuff like that, so I'm not going to be buying any more yarn. Probably after the new year, I won't be buying any more yarn. Probably any more yarn anytime soon. I bought the hometown yarn because it was such a good price and I needed to make Christmas presents with it. So that'll get used right away. And I'm trying to get through, all the stuff, all the projects that I'm working on before I go back to making blankets. Because I made 8 blankets, like 7 baby blankets and 1 grade school kids blanket. The last month is what I donated. Last week, I took that. I can't remember what day I took it in, but I think I took it in Monday, and she was coming Friday to pick them up at Joann's, because Joann's is one of the pickup points for Project Linus. And so that's what I've been doing. Mostly yarn stuff, a lot of computer/job stuff. If you're a praying person, pray that I find a job that suits my talents and pays well and has good health benefits. That would be great. I'm looking for that. I'm also hoping to get this computer class done sooner rather than later. And, you know, to understand the material. It's quite a challenging class. It's from Microsoft directly. And they have a video first to open up the topic. Then you go and do an exercise where you're working in the program and you follow the directions to learn the skills. And then you take a quiz, like a practice quiz, and you have to get 80% or above on that practice quiz in order to move on to the next part of the course. And at the end of every module, there is a test that is a graded test that you have to take. So, learning all that material is quite a bit new for me. So I'm letting it sink in. The Excel is going to take longer and the PowerPoint's going to take longer because I haven't had as much exposure to that as I've had with Word. But even the Word class, there were a lot of things in Word that I never used that I was interested in learning how to use, and they helped with that a lot. Now you can do like what they call an honors project at the end, where you can do a special project and then your certificate says with honors, and I didn't want to do the special project. I just had no desire whatsoever to do that. So I'm just getting the regular certificate. So, and however long it takes is how long it takes. I want to know the material so that when I go into an office, I can say, oh yeah, I just took a course in this again. You know, I'm up to date on the most up-to-date computer skills, you know, and I'm ready for the challenge of working in the office. And of course, if I run across something that I forget, you can always go to the help menu. The help menu is very helpful. But I'm making progress on this shawl. I started my second skein of the 3 this morning, and you can see I'm already getting a little bit of a hole in here. I probably used 1/4 of the skein already. I tucked in my ends. With homespun, what I do is do out 2 large ends, and then I'll knit 4 or 5 stitches together with both strands of yarn. What I mean is not knit 2 together. I mean, I'll knit with both strands across 4 or 5 stitches. And then that gives me a tail at either end to stick in, but it kind of secures the yarn too, so that if those tails were to pop out at all, at least I've got 4 stitches all knitted together, and it secures it in place. That's an old trick. It's an old knitting trick that I don't know where I picked up, but I picked it up someplace. And we're at about 30 minutes almost. So I'm going to say goodbye and hope that you guys have a great week. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. And remember to stop and breathe. Remember to stop and craft something and give yourself a time out so that you can improve your mental health by having those nice little breaks. And have a great week, guys.